Okay, so here we are, my very first live broadcast on my YouTube channel. And we have the chat available. I'd love for you to put your name in there so that, say hi so I know you're there.
Hi.
We got to go ahead and share this on our YouTube channel so everybody knows, or our Facebook page, so everybody knows that it's on. And it's probably going to be a little bit weird for the first video. Let's see here. And where is it? Come on. This is not as easy as it looks. I just want to share it. Where is it? Let's see. Okay, I found the right page. What do you know? I'll go on my Facebook page, see if it's live there. I don't see it. Well, I know there's 10 of you on there watching right now, and I'm sorry that I'm having trouble. I'm trying to share it on Facebook because people are going to be mad at me if they don't have it, or if I don't let them know and I can't figure out how to do that. Anybody want to say hi in the chat room? This is Terry,
Hi.
my friend, and I'm going to start by showing this. Hi, Jamie. Nice to have you here for our first playtime on YouTube. What kind of sewing do you do? Hopefully you can type fast. Let's see. You think they would have a button that's real easy and just go share, but I can't seem to figure it out. Let's see. I wonder if that's it right there. We're going to be, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've purchased recently to describe some of the plans I have. Hi, Lynn. And Jamie, oh wow, my eyesight. You're happy to be watching. This is not that easy, is it? Okay, let me see if it's sharing. Hello. Hi, Martha from the Detroit suburbs. Let's see if that gets me there. I don't know how to share it. Let's say, can one of you send me the link that you are looking at this from so I can share it? It sounds silly, doesn't it? Hi, Jet. I should probably be reading my using my reading glasses. So we have someone from Wisconsin, someone from Detroit, and I don't know if you have any snow or if you had snow for Christmas, but we had a really white Christmas. It was very nice, wasn't it? And then even though we had a lot of snow, you know what we did on Christmas? We went to the snow. So we ended up going up to Flagstaff, and we couldn't make it all the way to the mountains. Hi, Lynn from Denver. It's nice to have you guys here. Are you guys able to see it? Where are you guys looking at it? On YouTube, or are any of you looking at this on Facebook? I should be able to have a link here. I know I've seen other educators struggle on their first filming, so I hope that you guys will be understanding with me. Let's see here. I just can't believe there isn't just right here a little bit, a little share your URL. You're looking at YouTube? YouTube. So YouTubers are getting notified, but the Facebook people are going to get really upset with me if I don't figure out how to share this. Oh, there it is. That was easy. Boom. Shared. Live streaming. Come play with, oh, that sounds silly, doesn't it? Come sew with me on live. We'll just do live. Post to Facebook. They'll probably be going, it's about time, because I let people know earlier today that I'd be doing this. Now I'm doing all my social media, and we can get going and have some fun here. Do any of you have a Twitter, a Facebook, a Instagram, a Pinterest, and have to keep up with all of those things? Okay. I shared it on Facebook, so now in Facebook I have to share it with the group, and then I'm gonna unveil this brand new product that's coming out, and we're gonna make it so that you can pre-order it at a special price, since you guys are special. And there, now we're live. This lady named me the sewing queen. And she has been on me all day. When are you starting? When are you starting? So she'll be joining us in a minute. There we go. Now I can share this in my group. Share to a page. See, I should have somebody here doing this for me, but my son didn't find out about this until today. Right, Terry? Whose fault is it that we're doing this today?
It's my idea.
I got a call or a text from her this morning, and she said, I have a great idea. I want to make a baby blanket. You want to say it? You say it.
It's a blanket for my grandson, and we just got a new floor, and it's kind of hard, so we're gonna make a blanket. And he picked it out. Nope, I don't like that. Nope. And we finally got the right one, and he's gonna be excited. So Claire's making it for him.
So Terry,
and he's 3 years old.
So Terry, I don't know if any of you have ever done this before, but all of a sudden she goes, guess what? I'm not 56. I'm 57, and we're both just about to have a birthday. So she totally forgot that she was 57, and I didn't realize either, because I'm not that good at that either. So this is her inspiration, is she wants to make something for her grandson to remember her 57th year from, because she has nothing to go by, because she forgot that she was 57. So. And if you haven't seen her on my YouTube channel, sorry, my dogs have decided to bark. Tinkerbell, Chase, sorry. Oh boy. I don't know, I'll have you guys meet the dogs. Come here, Chase. Come here. Come here. Come up. This is Chase. I don't know if you can see him because I don't have the. Hey, come here. Come on. This is Chase. He's trouble. He's adorable. He's my baby. Come here, Tink Tink. Come on. She has a little staircase set up here. Here we go. Whoops. Oh, I'm sure this is fun for you. Here we go. There's Tink, and she has a little staircase and a chair for us to not have to worry about picking her up constantly because she's always wanting to be involved, kind of like a cat, you know, how they like to always be on your sewing. Okay, I've got one more place to share this, and then we'll just get on it. Post. There we go. All right, everybody's on. I'll come back. I haven't seen anyone's post for a while. Let's see. Okay. A whole year. She said Jamie said she was 36 for a whole year, but she was 37. See, it's not uncommon. I frequently, people ask me how old I am, and I'm like, oh, how old am I? I can't remember. So isn't that great? That means we're having too much fun.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have been at a lot of shows, and at the shows I've been saying I'm going to make a quilt in December, and I actually am in the process of making my quilt. And have any of you ever done the half square triangle pattern where you start out with a square and sew two sides together and stitch all the way around and then cut it vertically, and you end up with these little squares like this? Any of you quilting? Type faster, girls. This is one of my blocks. And I'm going to be filming the process of making the entire quilt. So how many squares does it take to make a king-size quilt with half square triangles and no sashing for the cheat to make it, you know, not as much stitching? Over 200 squares, I believe, and imagine cutting all of those squares. So what's really exciting and new coming is a brand new die cutting machine where it cuts different shapes, and it's not even available yet. It'll be releasing in March, and we have one on the table here. Have any of you ever done Drunkard's Path? I wish you could talk faster. So here we have a die set for Drunkard's Path. And if any of you have seen any of the other types of die cutting machines that are out there, or dies, they're usually this big, you know, wooden board with foam, and the dies are set and fixed on the board. And in order to cut, like if you have a what is that one called? Dresden plate, and they have one Dresden plate next to another, and you want to do them in different color fabrics, you have to cut your piece the shape of the Dresden plate before placing it over to cut your piece the shape of the Dresden plate. So you're doing a lot of cutting, unnecessary cutting. With these dies, they're just loose like this, and you take a piece of material, and I'm not going to use this material right here because this is my nice fabric, and you lay your fabric down on this. We have this plate here, and another metal plate goes on top of it, and then you lay whatever material you want down on top, and then you can position your die right over the top of that. And there's a clear plate, which, you know, we're a little bit disheveled here because we had camera situation where I thought I was set with cameras, having 6 cameras already, but my son goes, no, you need a webcam. And so I had to run to Walmart, and then we had to stop by her house to get her jacket. And when we went to her house, she has a young dog, and he just was really just all of a sudden freaked out, and he took off. So I'm running down the street with the dog, you know, makeup and hair done, and I'm like, I'm all sweaty when I got here. but that took 45 minutes to get the dog to go back into the house. So that delayed us somewhat. So, so Jet, you've done a lot of Dresden plate or drunkard's paths. And with the, we're gonna cut out a drunkard's path here tonight, and I'm gonna sew it for you without pinning or gluing or anything. And when you see how it is a square when you're finished, and you don't have to cut with scissors or try to manipulate that curve with the rotary cutter, you'll understand why I got so excited by this. So I'm gonna trust you to behave while I walk into the studio, because we're filming in the house tonight. It's a little chilly in the studio, and we thought you'd like a little coziness of the house. And we're gonna be using the Seascape sewing machine, and there's a delay, about 15-second or 20-second delay, so I'm having trouble. But this is the machine, and there's Terry. And I'm going to let her chat with you while I run and get a couple things.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. I just want to make a quilt for my grandson, and Claire's nice enough to help me do it. So, and I thought she's going to make some puppets and everything else, and I want to try everything that I can do. And she makes a foot for a blind person, so she's the right person to teach me, I guess. So I can't wait to get started. And I can't read your comments because I need glasses, so we have to wait for Claire. If you're asking questions.
And where is that plastic?
What, get your glasses.
My glasses?
Yeah.
Are they telling me to glasses?
Well, I'm just saying that you complained about it earlier.
Oh, I don't know. I never seem to know when to keep the glasses on and when to take them off. So I'm going to try to figure out how to make it so you can see this. But have you guys had any trouble with fussy cutting before? I did some fussy cutting. And if you can see this, you can see how nicely everything lined up on that. Imagine fussy cutting to that extreme when you cannot see the die. In other words, you have to set your fabric down upside down over the object. So what this allows you to do is fussy cut by taking your die and laying it over the top of it. And you can just position it just like that and know that you're going to get that piece perfectly aligned without any chance of it shifting on you. No chance of your scissors slipping. So here we go. I'm going to get, oh, also there's a whole bunch of dies coming out. Hundreds of dies. And I'm going to be making some custom dies for my own design. They're very small, so they don't take up a lot of room in your sewing room. And I'm thinking about making a binder project for you so that you can insert them into a binder to keep them organized, because it's really easy to mix them up. Imagine cutting this shape or this one. Yikes. And I haven't finished sewing this one, but you know how long that would have taken. Imagine having to cut like 50 of those out. Let's see if I can. I've fallen a little bit behind on the chatting. Hi, Judy from Pennsylvania. Philadelphia? No, Pennsylvania. Hi, Lynn. Nice to see you, Lynn. That's the one that calls me the sewing queen. Remind Claire to show how to use the SIA adhesive. Okay, I won't forget. And I brought a hoop into the room, but I'll be running back and forth because we have so much planned for you tonight. It's just too much to have in one spot. There's piles all over the house, and I might give you a little peek at some of my artwork in the house should you guys want to see that. What's scary, Lynn? Seeing me live?
You're telling
Is
me.
is the footage okay? Are you guys seeing it okay? Because my son was doubting that our bandwidth was good enough to do live feed. Minky for backing makes for a very soft baby blanket, Terry. She actually chose 2 polar fleece, or she didn't choose them.
Yeah, my
Her
grandson.
her grandson is adorable. He went shopping for me when I was looking for my daughter for a dress to wear to my daughter's wedding, and I oh great, this is so exciting because he really didn't think that the footage would be good. Thanks for letting me know, Lynn. Lynn, meet Lynn. We got 2 Lyns in the chat. So he chose 2 polar fleece fabrics, and we were thinking about turning that into a quilt tonight. And what I'm going to do is break the night down into segments so that we'll work on one project, then we're going to shut down, and I'll bring stuff into the room, and then we'll film something and then take a break. That way you guys can also take a break. And when anyone comes back to see the recorded version, they don't have to endure 6 hours, because we are going to sew until the New Year's and do a toast for anyone still awake. And let's see. Show you a couple more of these things that I did before we put this aside. Here's one of the drunkard path starting, the smaller die that they have. Oh, any of you do English paper piecing? The first time watching Canadian in Arizona.
Oh, cool.
Hi, Marianne.
It's
from
our
Canada.
first time.
Which province are you from in Canada? I believe that's the right thing to say. I can't remember what I said, Lynn, for you to say yes. What a way to start the new year with, aw, thank you, Lynn. You're going to make me cry. Don't do that. She's done that to me before. I was really brave to leave her with the camera. I'm telling you. She actually she has 2 videos on her YouTube channel. And I keep saying it shows, I'm going to film her. I'm going to film her. And tonight we're going to film her. She's going to quilt in front of you for the very first time. And those of you who don't know, she has a physical challenge, right? So do you want to tell them?
I had a brain hemorrhage, the right side's paralyzed.
And you were right-handed?
And I was right-handed.
So now she only has use of her bad hand, and
which is turning into my right hand, which means I can't tell my right from my left.
Right. So if we're driving in the car, she goes, "Which way do I go?" And I go, "Go left." She goes, "Right." And I'm like, "No, your other left." But then we all do that, don't we? Okay, I went out and had to get a camera. We got a camera, and I couldn't even remember what a webcam was. For those of you who think I'm smart. I cut out so many squares to make my quilt that the mound was this tall. And if I had to cut those with a ruler, I would have wasted so much fabric, because I don't know if you're like me, but when you cut that rotary cutter along the ruler, I almost 1 out of 5 times will slip just a little bit. And if you've ever done a quilt, you know those pieces really do need to be cut accurately. So eliminating the cutting is just absolutely amazing, and then you end up with your perfect squares and all of that stitching done in one stitching line going across, which we'll show. So we're going to cut a Dresden plate, and I'm going to have to do that because
that's right.
Because that is a 2-handed sewing process for
We'll
now,
just
until
seats.
I figure out how to do it so you can do it. This one's fun. I was thinking about turning these into dog frisbees using a polypropylene material and putting some batting in it. You can make your own dog frisbees out of these. So there's always a pattern for something. You know, I don't make the projects look simple. It's the feet and the octahoops, Lynn. Have you been using it? Lynn, you said ooh. What did I say that made you say ooh? Hi, Marianne. And from Alberta. Is that on the east or west coast or in the middle? We'll keep you guys talking while my brain is still kicking in here. I really wasn't sure I was going to get this feed going, and now I'm feeling very relaxed about it, which means you can expect more live feeds from me in the future. I might even be able to do this in my hotel room or at a show. So here's an example, once again, of the fussy cutting, and it would be very difficult to do that fussy cutting without this setup here. Let's see. Show you how I did it. I can't wait to finish the quilt. So much that I started my day yesterday at 7 a.m. and I sewed until 4 in the morning. And then Terry goes, let's film live today. I'm glad you like the fabric. I love the fabrics. And when it's all done, we will, my dog's getting covered with material. When I'm all done with the quilt, we'll share it. And then I'm going to show each thing, but you're kind of getting you're going to get some glimpse of it tonight as we cut right in front of you. For those of you who would like to cut faster than I did, and I cut a little bit slower because I used the traditional dies, which are thinner, and this is really exciting. I'm working with this new company called Crafter's Edge, and don't let Crafter mistake or make you think that it's cheesy. It's this company is insanely qualified to take sewing to the next level because of the fact that I can give them a design this morning for a die and they can make it tonight and then tomorrow ship it to me. And because of that turnaround, we're going to be able to make some incredible things. Oh, I was back to the English paper piecing. Jeez Louise. So sorry, you guys. I should have slept a little bit more than I did. So English paper piecing, they already have these dies. These will be available right away. This is the Hexies, the ever popular Hexies. But what's really neat about this is that, come on out of there, is that this die breaks apart, and this is the die that you cut your stabilizer, or they use paper. But for the technique called invisible applique or hand applique or needle turn applique, we're going to be coming up with an entire set of what I'm calling double dies. So we can do a flower, and then you're going to get a smaller flower that's the perfect measurement to make your fusible interfacing out of. And you can iron it to the top of to the back side of your material, and then you'll be able to fold over your edges. And I've got the best product for folding over your edges. It's the Appliquick, and she's a friend of mine. We're going to carry her products, and I'll be demonstrating how to use her Appliquick tools. So you can turn a circle that's only 1/4 of an inch in diameter accurately. You might have seen her on the quilt show recently. Her name is Rosa, and she's from Spain, a wonderful person. So just to recoup, this smaller dies for the stabilizer, or you might be thinking, my cat is saying hi. Those of you who've used freezer paper to do needle turn applique before know that I don't always use that, almost never. Usually I use a fusible stabilizer instead. And I'll be doing a bunch of patterns to support the dies that we're going to make for that. So right away they have the hexie and a little triangle die that you can use. The pro dies are a thicker die, so that you can cut 8 circles all at once. How many of you have cut circles and had a hard time making it round with your scissors? Let's see. You're in Michigan. Lynn Coleman is in Michigan. And I met her in San Mateo, California, right? Right, Lynn? And I think I hired your daughter, didn't I, to work in my booth? When you figure that out, let me know. One-hand sewer here. One-handed sewer, Jamie? Or are you a hand sewer? Oh, you did a 2-year-long paper piecing quilt. Was it a hexie, Lynn? Oh my gosh. Well, I started my quilt last week. I thought I could do it in 2 days, but once it took long. It's taking longer because it takes a long time to sew all that. If I could make the sewing machine go faster, I could do it. So this is one of the pro dies. They'll come up later. First, they're going to come up with the traditional, or you're able to cut 4 layers at the same time. But the pro dies allow you to cut. This is a really high quality, thick leather. And look at that. Not a single whisker, as the owner, Mike, says. He calls them little whiskers when the fabric is fraying a bit on the edges, so you don't have any risk of that happening. And this is just one cut, just rolling it through, which I think it's time to actually show it.
Yeah.
Now, there's 2 machines. If any of you out there have a physical limitation, there's a machine called the Big Sister. Kind of a silly name, but you can't forget it now. It's your big sister. You did a king size quilt. Was it Hexies? No, it was. Yeah, it was Hexies. Ugh, man, girl. I don't have that kind of patience. People call me patient, but I'm not that patient. So I'm going to bring the machine over here now and try to be organized. This is a stainless steel plate, by the way, that comes with the machine. And oh, another really neat thing is you see me handling these, and my fingers going over it and over it, and they can't cut you. It's amazing. So if you have little ones in the sewing room, you don't have to worry about them getting hurt. So if you have a limited ability, or your hands are, you have arthritis, or if you only have use of one hand, then you're going to want to get the Big Sister machine, which is already available. And we're adding them to our website. We almost got it done. Remember, we decided to do this afternoon, so we didn't have a lot of time to get everything in place. I will be adding the machines on the accessories link at creativefeet.com so that you can order the machine or pre-order the machine at a introductory discounted rate. So here we go. Here comes the machine. I'm going to have to change the camera angle. I got to choose the color of the machine. Can you hold it? I need another chair or something.
Here.
There we go. That's not too bad. I can see it. You like the color of the machine, you guys? See how it closes up. And it has the handle. There's a little button on the back side of the handle that you push in, and there's a magnet inside the handle, so it sticks to it, and that keeps it together. And then you're going to be able to get a case for it. Let's see. Of course, you're all sewers. And you could make a case, but they have, I think they have purple, I think he said they have purple and yellow cases still available for the machine. So you can carry it to a class and blow everybody away as they cut with a rotary cutter, and you can cut with your little machine. So this is a nice little carrying case. It's very sturdy, has parachute strap material, adjustable straps, and I like the fact that you also have the hand straps so that you don't have to always carry it over your shoulder. So this is actually a prototype of the machine. any of you ever do any paper crafting, then depends on the size of the blocks. Patty? I probably should get my glasses. I don't know where they are. That's the problem.
Do you want me to try
I
to
think
find
they're.
them?
I think they're in my sewing on my sewing table, but I don't know. So let's do one of these, and then when you come back, maybe you could just slide that other chair over and. Okay. So here we go. We have the platform, and it's this white. Depends on the size of the box. We still have that. So this is feels a lot like a plate that you would. What are they called? Cutting mat. No, is that what they call it for food? When you cut your food, chopping block. And it has a curved or radius leading edge that helps it go into the machine. And then you take this stainless steel plate and set it down on top. And then you take a die. Oh, I had Kay Wood at my house recently, and to see the machine as well. And we fussy cutted some owl wings, and we were all blown away because there was another lady here as well. Her name escapes me at this moment. I think it's Phyllis. She and Kay have a class or a group of ladies called the Owls, and so when they saw the owl die, they just had to see it, or had to get an owl to take to their class. So I cut them some owls, and they wanted different wings, so we were able to fussy cut using two different kinds of material at the same time. So here we go. I'm going to put a flower down, and say you want the flower. I'll try to show you what makes this so awesome. On very little sleep. So say you want the flower to be the head of that skull right there. And then you want a square so you can position them in different positions, but you can also take your fabric and fold it in half and cut strips the width of the board, and you can do a square, a square, a square, and just keep pulling the fabric through the machine rather than having to cut squares to cut squares. So here you can see that I have two dies sitting on the plate. Trying to make sure you can see it here. And then you take and you place the clear, can't remember what he called that, protective plate over it. And what that does is it holds it all down. So the blades are actually going to cut downward. And then we just take and slide this in. And I have the machine set backwards. There's a tension dial here with different settings that's normally on it. But the one that I'm using here is a prototype. They painted the machine in the colors that I liked, and inadvertently we don't have the tension dials, but it's kind of like a tension or a pressure foot pressure. You can set it for different settings for different materials. And I'm right-handed, so it works better if I go this way. And you just roll it through. I don't know what pressure I'm on. I don't think I'm on the right pressure. There we go. And you'll hear a sound, crackling kind of sound. Yeah, cutting board is the name. Thank you so much, Jamie. Funny how your brain doesn't work as well when you're on live footage. Whoops. So you just spin it through, and you can hear like it drop the wheels. There's wheels in there, and they just drop right over it. You'll listen to that, and it'll go drop off. For those of you scaredy cats, just know that that sound is okay. And then you take and remove the plate. Take the dies up, and look at that. Isn't that lovely to see that cut perfect? and the flower as well. And you can cut up to 4 layers depending on the thickness of your cotton. And it cuts all kinds of fabrics as well, laces, and I plan on coming up with some purse patterns using dyes so that you can't mess up your purses. And so isn't that cool? Do any of you have any questions about the machine right now? I'm going to cut a Dresden plate. I mean, a drunkard's path. And I'll sew it for you, and then we'll end. No, I'm going to show you the big sister. I forgot. The big sister is already available, and what I recommend you use if you have a physical challenge. This is a more heavy-duty machine with a wider plate, so I'm going to take it and put it down.
Are these done?
No. Where did you find those? There's only one lens.
Oh.
And old. That's okay. Don't worry about it, Terry.
I can't find it though.
So this is the big sister, and the reason they're called the crossover machines is because they're crossing from paper cutting into fabric cutting. Did you back? No, I didn't back it with stabilizer, but you can. So if you want to use those pieces for applique, then absolutely you can do that as well. So this machine comes with the handle not on, and I didn't know that. So I'm going to assemble it in front of you. Isn't this nice?
All right.
I think you can see it. We'll see. I have a delay, so I have to wait. Yeah, you can see it. Yay, my glasses. Where were they?
On that table.
Okay. No, I can't see the screen
Oh.
still because these are trifocals. Maybe I can if I tip my head up. Do you have to go back and forth like that? No, you don't have to go back and forth that many times. Sometimes, now remember, I'm working with them developing this product, so there have been some dyes that we had to go back and forth several times, but we've made modifications to them because I know that that's not desirable. You guys want to be able to just run it through once. So we are working on making them even better than they already are, so that I'm sure there's instructions somewhere for assembling this, but you know I'm an inventor, so I gotta just try it first. Can't be that difficult. Slide on there. Nope. Oh, there's a little thing there that, so there's one way this goes on. Terry's being so patient. She's had to wait how long so to be able to do some of these things. And now you have to wait while I do this. This was the only thing I was even close to ready to show you tonight. Oops.
But it's New Year's.
It's new, and we have hours. 43 minutes, so this is a long video. But I'm going to cut a drunkard's path, sew it, and then we'll take a break and get Terry set up to actually sew something. And Lynn, I'm going to have her embroider. So I'm going to show the stick and tear, also known as SIA. Can't see you? You can't see me? Well, I was trying to show the machine. So this machine is easier to turn. So you can turn it without holding onto the machine. So this would be the version for Terry to use and for anyone who only has use of one hand. So if you only have use of one hand, now you can cut out some incredibly detailed shapes. And this one has a long plate set that goes with it as well. So let me get I had the drunkard's path. And Terry, I'm gonna use the sewing machine first, and then we'll take a break.
Okay.
In the beginning, when I did videos, I didn't let you see me at all. Actually thought you guys didn't want to see me. So I'm going to use the big sister this time. If I can find the plate that I just had. Do that. Oh, here it is. I'm not sure the owner of the company, Crafter's Edge, is watching me or not right now, but I'm fumbling a bit. We'll be filming next week educational videos to go with these, and some YouTube videos. I'm just trying to find a fabric that I want to use for this. Do I have one that complements this? Because we have to have something that complements it, don't we?
You want me to get
This goes nice with it. There we go. All right. I think they'll approve. And I'm going to fussy cut the pie shaped piece. May as well cut 2 at a time. And then the top plate. If I were in my studio, I'd be a little bit more coordinated. Being in the living room or dining room is throwing me off a bit. Do you want to try?
Well, it's never not New Year's every day.
Let's see. See if I can do it left-handed. And the important thing is that I don't know which way is tight. Remember, this is my first time using this machine, so how many layers of fabric you can cut? Up to 4 layers of cotton with 1 dye. I don't think I got the tension set right on this. And you have to do it with it out, so let me take it back out. Just remember, you know those muscles on your arms? I'll give you my face right now because I've been dying to say this. I cut fabric for, how many hours did I do? Maybe 5 straight hours. And all I could think about was those little flabby muscles, or the non-muscles on your arms, and how I was working it out. So switching left hand and switching right hand, man, you're getting a workout while you're getting your fabrics cut. So I wish I could just ask Mike real quick, is this tightening it or loosening it? I think that was loosening it. Let's see. It might be that the plate is the wrong plate. Oh, now it's tight. Oh well, you get to see me fumble a bit. I don't know the big sister yet. It's definitely easier to turn than the crossover 2. But I don't think that engaged, and I don't want to make you guys wait anymore. Oh, I went all the way to loose. There's the tension dial. It was on your side. See it? Right there. So I couldn't see the dial, so I was all the way to the bottom. So now I'm tightening it up. Let's try it again. Okay, now it's way too tight. I'm at number 9. And I'm used to having to hold, because on the crossover you hold on to the machine as you run it through. That sounds like it worked. I have a habit of going back and forth, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. We've got 2 layers of material here right now. And there we go. So, and that was really significantly easier to turn than the crossover 2. So the benefit of having the crossover 2 is it has a heavier table support for heavier materials. Dog, please don't. Please don't. Please don't fluff it up. These are my fabrics. Just lie down. Be a good girl. Tinkerbell. Lie down. Lie down. Good girl. Oh my, she's always with me. Okay, now I'm going to cut the complementary fabric, cut two of these at the same time. And if you've ever used any other die cutting machine, you know that you have to cut your pieces in order to cut your pieces. So this is a narrower piece than that, so I'm going to fold it in half this way. Since the straight of grain doesn't matter, or the bias or the angle doesn't matter on this particular piece that we cut, it doesn't matter which way you fold the material. Just want to make sure your dies aren't falling off the metal plate. This is definitely easier in my sewing room. Go ahead and place this down. It's the rounded edge of my dining room table that's making the fabric fall off. Bat wings. Bat wings. Multi-purpose equipment. Okay, so I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We're going to be able to make pasta shapes with this. I hope Mike doesn't mind I told you that. We're going to make dies for cutting pasta. Does that sound fun? Make some pasta for the kids and have it shaped like Mickey Mouse or something. That would make cute bat wings. That fabric's so Halloweeny. Well, I should have gone one more pass, I think, on this die. And remember, these are the prototype dies, so, and it has to do with me not knowing the tensions, but they actually are in the middle of making an instruction book for it with tension settings for the different types of materials so that you guys don't have to guess like I'm doing right now. And now I'm going to go to the sewing machine and show you how to sew it together. And we'll have to reposition the area. There goes all my dies not being in the right bag, which is why I really want to make a binder for holding them. And this segment of the New Year's Eve sewing is going to be ending very soon, and then we'll come back and Terry's going to sew something so she doesn't smack me for not letting her use the machine yet.
I'm okay.
Okay. This is my first time doing this, you guys, so hang on. And I appreciate your patience as I fumble around.
We just thought about it this morning.
Yeah, I didn't have any time to plan. And I was just, basically, excuse me, Chase. Chase, move. Take the ball and go. My dog Chase has a ball issue. He always has a ball in his mouth. Oh, I should have a measuring tape. Let's see here. Can you see? I can't see with my glasses on when I'm too close. There's Terry in the background. Oops, sorry about that. Pull my shirt up. Okay. Okay, so have any of you pinned Drunkard's Path before? You want to see Tinkerbell? Okay. Yeah, here we go. Here she is. Tinkerbell. Say hi, Tinkerbell. Hi. Tinkerbell was born with only one eye, a hair lip, and a crooked nose. See her crooked nose? And she smiles every time Terry comes over. She doesn't smile for me, but she smiles for Terry. You say hi, Tink? Hi. Where's Chase? Trying not to move you around too fast. This is a little webcam, but he's somewhere.
Come on, Chase.
You want to come say hi? All right, here we go. Chase, here you go. Hi. There's people watching you. He's like, I'm getting the ball. If you're gonna talk to me, we're gonna play. Did anybody get seasick? Woo! Look at that ride you guys took. Oh, live is definitely interesting. Here we go. Although when I was on the Home Shopping Network, I did a lot of live programming. I actually was surprised when I had an easier time doing live filming than I did doing recorded filming, because I knew there were humans on watching me when I looked at the camera instead of just some guy standing behind the lens. Did any of you see that episode of my YouTube or my Home Shopping Network episode? I had braces on, and I had that in the description, but when you went to watch my video, all the recommended videos then were these kids with their mouths showing their braces, so I took that out of the description so you guys didn't have to endure seeing all these braces looking back at you. So when you do a curved seam, are you trying to sew a curve, or are you trying to maintain a 1/4 inch seam allowance along a curve? So we're actually just trying to achieve a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and you can use a measuring tape and lower your needle down onto one of the lines and then move the wire on the satin edge foot over to a 1/4 inch. My foot has been set on a 1/4 inch because I'm making my quilt. So it's already set. And then you simply just take your materials and bring them together like this. And the smaller piece on top, hands down the easiest method. Lower the foot so that it's sitting off the edge, and now I'm trying to figure out how I can do it with one hand. I'm trying to figure out in my head how I could do this with one hand. We're going to be bringing the two fabrics together. I don't know if the light of the sewing machine is making it harder to see. See if I can rearrange the camera a bit. And this camera is auto-focusing, which is complicating things even more. I'm going to turn off the sewing machine light. Let's see if I can. Figure it out.
It might be the light.
Yeah, the light on the sewing machine is too bright, and it makes the lens close on the camera. Pretty amazing. If I could sew it and hold the camera at the same time, that would be so cool. So let's see, a little light. Better? I quit but haven't done a drunkard's path. Oh, you quilt. Cheryl quilts but hasn't done a drunkard's path. I've done the Dresden plate though. Yeah, the Dresden's very similar, and you have similar curves, and we have already got the die for the Dresden plate. It cuts out in like the shortest amount of time. So we watch the front of the foot, and the satin edge foot is the only foot that is engineered to not allow you to go beyond your 1/4 inch. So you push toward the foot with one finger and keep your eye focused there, and your job is to bring the two materials together right at the front of the foot. And you just go as you sew, just like when you drive your car. If you're stopped in your driveway and you try to turn the steering wheel on your car, your steering wheel, you know, like the steering wheel doesn't want to turn, but as soon as your wheels are turning, your steering wheel turns easy. It's the same principles when sewing. You want the feed dogs to be moving, and then as you go, it allows you to move them a little bit at a time. So we just focus right there, and you just keep bringing them together at that one spot, holding very lightly so you don't distort the fibers, and you just go around, keep going around. Keep your eye focused here, ignore that needle. The seam allowance will be correct, and then thanks to the dies, the piece, see how nice, and it doesn't pucker on there. And as, oh, if I had my presser here, we have these wonderful pressers. It's actually on the kitchen table, or the dining room, or the coffee table.
Where I found the glasses?
Yeah, it's a multicolored one. Those of you who haven't seen my pressers, Does anybody want me to do that one more time? Oh, you can rewind this. I think you can rewind up to 4 hours on this. So see that? That's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to have to square it off after. Of course, some of us are going to still have to square it off a little bit, and that has to do with overhandling your material. But the pressing process, I'm sure you've seen it on my other videos. Are you finding it? If not, I'll just, you know what a presser looks like.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, I don't need
But I just,
bringing me the rotary cutter
yes,
too.
just in case.
I actually went out and got that spinning Lazy Susan style cutting mat. She handed it to me like that. Look, open. That means I left it open. Bad quilter. Okay. So I got myself one of those Lazy Susan cutting mats because of having to cut off the dog ears and to cut the squares apart on my quilt. And while I was doing that, I went, we've got to make a die that's an X that will cut your squares no matter how small they are. It'll cut a small square, medium, big, because an X goes out to infinity. So we'll have an X that will cut all your half square triangles if you decide to use squares and sew around like that, and then cut to open up. And my dog's using my fabrics as a pillow right now. So this is what I'm referring to. So after you cut them, you end up with triangles like this. But if you've ever done it, you know it's really hard to get your fabric, your blade to line up straight so that your seam allowances will line up when you go to sew it. And I spent hours squaring off they end up with 3.25 inch or 3.5 inch square when you're done. And I spent forever just trying to square these off. So we're going to have a square off die set to go with every square set too. So you can just cut your square, do your stitching all the way around, lay the X down, roll it through instead of spinning it around and possibly slipping with the ruler and the rotary cutter. So I'm going to show you the pressing now. This is one of our pressers. If you were to go online right now and order Tutti Frutti, this is the one that you would get instead of Tutti Frutti. I haven't had a chance to show all the different woods that we have, but I don't know if the lighting is showing just how pretty this is. It's a very pretty one. And we actually, a gentleman hand turns these on a lathe for us. So they're one of a kind. Each one has a different shape, and they're so important for doing your pressing. So here we go, down like this. And I'm trying to make sure I have a good camera angle before. So that's how long it takes for me to see what you see. How you work with this is, and it's not true, by the way, that you always fold to the dark. I hear that all the time. Doing a quilt piece out of the half square triangles, this is ideal, is to flat fold or to press out all of your seam allowances so that they lay completely flat. This is how you end up with absolutely spot on perfect points on all of your corners. It's almost impossible to achieve it any other way. However, the other reason to lay them flat is because I'm going to go in and I'm going to free motion quilt on this, and I don't want my needle to ever hit a really thick area. And right here there'd be like 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of material all bunched up if you had them folded over like this and this one folded over. So this will help you to know that whenever you're doing points, you should always open your seams up. Now, the problem with that is your fabric, when someone sits on it on the bed, the fabric will stretch. So this is one time you don't chain off. You do every seam has you forward and reverse on it so that it won't fall apart. I'm liking this live stuff and this camera being wherever I want it. Okay, so you can press off. This is how I did it on all of those. I pressed them over. I could actually show you some because I'm not done doing it. Press it over to one side, and then I press it the other way. And that really sets the seam so that it doesn't pucker on you. And this may seem like a lot of rubbing, but I burn my fingers almost every time I try to use an iron. And then if you use steam across the bias like this, it causes the fabric to stretch out of shape. So it's best to do most of the pressing of this with a presser, and then you can go afterward to your iron. I also spray starch my materials, and I do so before I cut out my shapes. I don't wait until the shapes are cut out. So once the fabric is folded under or folded apart like that, then you lay it down and you go on top, and that makes it really nice and flat. So no puckers, no pinning, no basting, no gluing. But you know me, I love the glue too. So whenever I can glue, I do. And I actually was gluing these, but if you glue the squares, then you can't press them open because they're glued shut. So I hope you enjoyed this first of our live feed. Terry and I are going to take a break, gather up some stuff, and
get some hot chocolate.
You're gonna have some hot chocolate? She brought some hot chocolate. And later on we might even have a little wine. Not until all this clutter's off the table though. So I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you're enjoying this New Year's Eve sewing session. Feel free to think of things that you might want us to sew tonight, because I'm not as organized as I was hoping I would be, so suggestions would be nice. And Lynn, I haven't forgotten, you want me to show how to use our stabilizer for the machine embroidering. And I love you guys. So now I'm going to figure out how to turn off the feed. That could be a while. So I love you guys so much.
When are you coming back?
Well, is my YouTube, if you're subscribed, as soon as I come back live again, it will send you a notification in your email. If you're smartphone users, you probably get a little notice every time that happens. Yes, I'm going to use the octahoops, Lynn. Terry's going to use the octahoops. She even stretched her own stabilizer when we did it the first time. That was how many years ago?
I don't know.
I feel so bad. It's been so long. I didn't want her to have to go on for her first time on camera. And but now it may as well be the first time, right?
I know.
Because it's been like, I think it's been, which house was I in? Yeah, it's been at least 4 years. So it may as well be her first time. And I feel bad that I haven't had more time for her, but she had a grandson too, which has taken up a lot of her time. It's not all my fault. I do want to have a sewing contest, Lynn. And excuse me, I probably will work that out with the Crafter's Edge as well. Uh-oh, I said we need something. Both Terry and I got a little bit of a cold from the 3-year-old grandson.
He's a troublemaker.
We drove around on Christmas Day looking for a place to sled and recirculating the air. To win a day with me, that's really what you'd want to win? You don't want to win goodies? Where would we meet? Oh, you're not in San Mateo anymore. I'm coming up there. I haven't had a chance to upload our shows and events page, but my latest newsletter has a list of all the shows that we have scheduled so far, and I will be making some special appearances with this new company as well, as I'm a spokesperson for them. So, not sure if I'll ever sleep again, but I would like to have a sewing contest. Any suggestions you can think of, and know that I'll be back soon. So let me figure out how to get off here, because this video is going to come up to an hour and no one's going to ever want to click on it. See you guys in a little bit. Probably only about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and we'll be back on, because this is what we're doing until midnight. And what time is it in New York? 10:30 in New York, 8:30 in Arizona. So we'll be back on before it is midnight in New York, so that we can wish everybody on the East Coast Happy New Year. All right, I got to figure out how to log off. I watched another educator take about 5 minutes to log off once. Now I completely understand what she went through. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
No, that didn't work. Bye.
Hello.
Hello, goodbye. Hello.